This is Ron Fournier with AP Race Rundown. Today's subject, betrayal. I'm talking, of course, of Scott McClellan, the Texas native and Bush loyalist who made his name and now a small fortune on the coattails of George Bush and is now turned turncoat. He's now talking about how the president deceived the public and mishandled the war in Iraq. But the question is, who is he really betraying? Is it George Bush or is it all of us? I'd argue actually it's the American public. Why? Well, this is a guy who started every day by getting information coming out of the Oval Office from Dan Bartlett. Dan Bartlett would come out of a meeting with the president and tell Scott McClellan, here are our talking points. Here is what we want you to say about the war. Here's what we want you to say about Hurricane Katrina. Here's what we want you to say about the economy. And before you know it, this message was disseminated through every reporter, through every member of the public eventually, from not just the press secretaries, but their bosses, people who were CEOs and titans in their own industries before they came into the government and now are literally spouting the talking points that came out of the Oval Office. What are we talking about talking points? Well, stuff like there's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Way to go, Brownie, on Katrina. There's going to be a mushroom cloud if we don't invade. All of these distortions of spin and things that turned out to be wrong came out of apparatus that Scott McClellan was a part of. So who is he betraying? Well, yes, he was betraying his former friend and his former boss, President Bush. But being part of a system that is not always honest with the American public, that sometimes puts perpetual campaigns ahead of the truth, when you do that, you're betraying the people you're supposed to be serving, and that's the American public. I'm Ron Fournier, and this has been AP Race Rundown.